We find ourselves in the heart of the Canadian winter, but the cold runs through our veins, and so the quest for hazy IPAs continues, this time in our own pond. My name is Zach, and I love beer. As we mentioned in previous episodes, we live in the province of Quebec, Canada's largest and second most populous region. The rich layers of history and culture are what makes Quebec unique, and is mostly thanks to our predominantly French-speaking population. European influences that have led to our popular Belgian ales and saisons. But when you peel back those layers, you can see that the courses being charted down south are starting to turn the tides up north. Our first stop brought us to Blainville, Quebec, home of les Brasseurs du Nord, more commonly known as Boreale. Boreale got their start in the 1980s, selling kegs out of the back of a Subaru to pay for college. Despite their early successes, the overwhelming number of New Quebec microbreweries put Boreale at risk of becoming what your dusty tavern would have on tap as the local brew. But everything changed for Boreale in 2017 when they opened their new artisan line of beers and shocked the world with their IPA du Nord-Est. Demand quickly surpassed supply, and both IPA du Nord-Est and its big brother Double Descente became Wales Bro. That is to say that they were incredibly hard to find, and Boreale was reinvigorated as people began chasing their delivery trucks around town. The bar for juicy IPAs in Quebec was set, and a new challenger approaches. We were over here, and we needed to go all the way over there, and it was going to take that long. This one would be different though. Farms. There's a farm, and another, and oh, look, a farm. Our experience at Boreale only wet our beaks, and although the road to Gatineau, Quebec was ominous, right across the river from the capital of Canada was the promise of beers as cloudy as the skies above. You see, Gatineau is the loophole to get around Ontario's stricter drinking age and later closing times. Sweet dreams, Darren. The safe haven to enjoy your Mike's Hard Lemonade at 3 a.m. We narrowly avoided running out of gas. When did we run out of gas? Maybe we never had any gas in the first place. Does it even matter? This show's about beer, and we had arrived. Brasserie du Bas-Canada was making a heavy splash in the beer scene since they first opened their doors 1 year ago through a successful crowdfunding campaign. Their tap room was littered with the memories of their home brewing origins, but what was flowing from the taps was anything but amateur. Owners Marc-André and Gabriel were eager to sit down with us and share their story.
On est des home brewers, c'est ça notre début. Donc Gab et moi, on est des partners de brassage depuis 4 ans. On fait du haut de gamme, là, fait qu'on ne veut pas compromettre la qualité. On va le faire de façon bien.
Les IPA qu'on brasse, c'est notre interprétation du style. Si les gens embarquent, tant mieux, mais c'est un peu la réflexion qu'il y en a.
Unlike their counterparts back at Boreale, this system was much more humble. Evidence that brewing is less about the capacity of the equipment and much more about what you do with it. This has attracted a diverse clientele.
Ça va du beer geek à la madame qui boit juste du vin.
En fait, on a beaucoup de succès comme tel avec nos bières en général, auprès des gens qui boivent pas beaucoup de bière.
Long gone are the days of intensely bitter IPAs, bringing forth a new generation of beer drinkers. We're proud to consider ourselves a part of the wave, but our overzealousness may be the reason I had Hamburger Helper 3 times this week. The haze next drew our attention east, and deeper into dreary winter territory. The cold concrete was hostile, but the fresh beer and small-town charm of Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu beckoned. It's not always winter in Canada, but when it is... Saint-Jean is home to a brewery that couldn't brew fast enough. Lagabiere, founded in 2012 by brothers Sébastien and Francis Lagabiere. We stopped by their original brew pub to sample some of their offerings. This location was warm and welcoming, a stark difference from their commercial brewery a few blocks away, which boasts a brew capacity 3 times the size. We sat down to a flight of their most popular brews, which featured everything from lagers to saisons, including their most popular beer, Ta Meilleure, an IPA which boasts all the hop and juiciness that you'd expect from New England. The first flight only piqued our interest, and there were another 8 distinct tap lines. We had room for seconds. This video was originally only going to feature 3 breweries, but we wouldn't be doing the Quebec brew scene justice without this final stop about 3 hours up the river. Finally, it was a beautiful day. Going from brewery to brewery tasting some of the best beers in Quebec is not a light endeavor. We've stayed in sketchy motels and battled the elements, but the sun and clear skies reinvigorated us. Well, reinvigorated some of us. One thing you should know about the province of Quebec is that whenever you see a modern, cool-looking bridge, you can usually find its crumbling predecessor right next to it. And if you've never been to Europe and have absolutely no intention of ever going, Quebec City is a phenomenal alternative. Architecture that dates back to the 17th century and so many churches. The seat of government and capital of the province, Old Quebec is like traveling back in time, boasting fortifications that highlight the city's colonial origins.
That's a heck of a beard there, bud.
Noctem was our last stop, an up-and-coming brewery founded as a brew pub in 2015. Since their beer hit the shelves, their local popularity exploded. This popularity was not unfounded, and was partially due to the success of Catnip, their take on a New England IPA. We had a chance to sit down with Jean-Philippe, one of the co-founders, just 1 week after the opening of their brand new commercial operation.
C'est ça en fait, la Catnip, là, je parlais de l'importance un peu des voyages brassicoles, puis tu recherches un développement là, que pour nous est important de faire. Ben, on est allé dans le Maine. On a fait 14 brasseries en 3 jours.
Jean-Philippe's anecdotes all but confirmed what seemed to be the standard when it comes to brewing and fraternity. And in fact, he did for us what the brewers across New England did for him.
Livre ouvert sur toutes les questions de technique, de brassage, doublonnage, de qu'est-ce que tu utilises. On a rapporté ça tout simplement après notre voyage et les autres visites de brasserie. Puis la Catnip est sortie, on l'a sorti au pub. Le 500 litres est parti en 1 semaine. Tu sais, le chat, tout le monde nous demande, ça vient d'où? Pourquoi le chat? C'est un peu... oui, le chat à Yann, il venait dans nos installations quand on brassait, puis il était tout le temps là. Fait que c'est comme partie de ça un peu, mais en fait, le chat, c'est un animal qui est super indépendant, qui fait ce qu'il veut. Puis c'est un peu dans cette attitude-là de brassage qu'on est. On brasse ce qu'on veut boire, on brasse ce qu'on aime.
We get the feeling Noctem has the right attitude. Prepare for slow motion and sexy music. The spoils of war, the fruits of our labor, our just reward. These cans represented nearly a month of travels. Now sit back, relax, and take a long, nice sip with your eyeballs. I could spend the next 5 minutes trying to explain what each of these beers tasted like, but that just wouldn't be fair to you or the hard work that went into these delicious cans of carbonated bliss. Just know this, Quebec has it, and this excites us. This beer scene is well on its way and shows no signs of slowing down. Vermont and Massachusetts may have had the numbers, but the drive and dedication of these craft brewers is cut from the same cloth. Boreale's poster boy, IPA du Nord-Est. His older brother, Double Descente. The gold from Gatineau, NEIPA 3. Hopped heaven in a can, Ta Meilleure. The version with peaches and passion fruit, Ta Plus Meilleure. Our guilty pleasure from Quebec City, Catnip. And our cute cousin, Oscar. This brings our New England IPA journey to an end. But the show must go on. We've developed a thirst for greatness, and the story has just begun. On to unfamiliar territory.